Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We just had a little technical mishap there, not sure what exactly happened, but yeah, we should be back up and running right now. And I give the floor to MP Lacruz. MP Lacruz had actually already indicated that he had nothing left to say, and with that, the system froze. No, but members of Parliament, okay, so just to confirm, we were at MP Lacruz, and then we had a little mishap, and so now I give the floor to MP Roosburg. MP Roosburg, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Secretary General, Council of Ministers present, and my dear colleagues and the public viewing here today and the ones still in tuned online. In the several meetings, Madam Chair, I don't really have a question, more a few remarks. In the several meetings that we had, also including the budget debate we have been having in the past few weeks, I have been asking several questions in regards to the crime fund. This because the crime fund is a way, seeing the rising crime that we are currently facing, that it can be addressed through this crime fund. Based on the big mystery in regards to the crime fund and its policy plan, the questions received by the Ministry of Justice in regards to this crime fund, and the fact that in the past years there has not been set policy plans in stone, I came to the conclusion that it's needed that this policy plan will be in place based on the law. Seeing that my colleague MP Irian was also looking into this matter, instead of providing two separate draft motions, we have decided to come with one motion, and I would like to bring this to the floor of Parliament. I would like to go over to reading the motion, Madam Chair. The Parliament of St. Martin, in its meeting of today, the 29th of October, 2024, considering that St. Martin faces ongoing challenges with crime that negatively impacts public safety, economic stability, and the overall quality of life for its residents, and the recent escalation in crime rates, St. Martin requires a strategic and evidence-based approach to utilize the crime fund effectively as established by law. That Article 5 of the Regulation on Crime Prevention Funds Ordinance, also known as Landsverordening houdende instelling van een criminaliteitsbestrijdingfonds, states that St. Martin must develop a yearly crime prevention policy plan to ensure systematic and sustainable crime reduction efforts, and that this policy plan should be submitted yearly when submitting the budget by the Minister of Justice. This crime fund policy plan has not yet been finalized and submitted yearly with the budget in the past years, as obligated by law. That operating the crime fund with absence of such policy plan is in violation of the Crime Prevention Funds Ordinance, Landsverordening houdende instelling van criminaliteitsbestrijdingfonds, and it limits the government's ability to effectively address crime and undermines the strategic allocation of resources as requested by law. That Parliament has made several formal inquiries in addition to findings from several reports from the Audit Chamber in connection to the status and timeline of the policy plan's development, emphasizing the urgency to complete this policy so that such can be included in the 2025 budget submission. Resolves to urge the Minister of Justice to fulfill and comply with the requirements of Article 5 of the Regulation on Crime Prevention Funds, Landsverordening houdende instelling van criminaliteitsbestrijdingfonds, by undertaking the following actions. Develop and finalize a legally compliant crime prevention policy plan to be included in the 2025 budget submission, outlining clear crime reduction objectives, funding needs, and implementation strategies as required by law. Develop a comprehensive financial framework that details anticipated expensive funding sources and long-term financial commitments, ensuring alignment with the 2025 budget and the Crime Fund Policy Plan. To call on the Minister of Justice to implement a structured crime fund policy framework grounded in best practices, ensuring crime funds are allocated to high-impact areas that address both immediate crime deterrences and long-term community resilience. To urge the Minister of Justice to consider incorporating the following funding allocations into the crime fund policy for inclusion in the 2025 budget submission. A, evidence-based prevention programs. B, law enforcement and crime solving. C, community-based violence intervention. D, victim support and trauma services. E, reintegration and rehabilitation programs. F, data collection and analysis. And G, innovation and pilot programs. Point 4, to ensure that the Minister of Justice will provide Parliament with progress reports every 6 months on the crime prevention policy plan development, including key milestones, budget consideration, and adhere to the legal requirements specified in de Crime Prevention Funds Ordinance. Landsverordening houdende instelling van criminaliteitsbestrijdingfonds. And goes over to the order of the day. This motion, I didn't mention it in the beginning, I think, but it has been supported by the different members, being myself, MP Brug, MP Irion, MP De Wever, MP Mercelina, MP Meijers, MP Gumbs, MP Kotay, MP Grisha Marter, MP Otley, MP La Cruz, MP York, and MP Duran. Yeah, and MP Sarah Westcott Williams, Charlie.
Thank you, MP Roosburg. The mic was not on. And I continue and I give the floor to MP Duran. MP Duran, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. Good evening to my colleagues, the honorable ministers of the council. Madam Chair, I would like to retract the initial motion that I put forward. Based on discussions that were had during the course of the evening, I've made some slight adjustments and additions to the motion. I would delve right into it since I don't have any further questions for the Council of Ministers. Parliament draft motion. The Parliament of St. Martin, in its public meeting on today, October 29, 2024, considering that civil servants have gone years without receiving a cost of living adjustment until this was applied during our tenure, that the passing of civil servants places a financial burden on their families, particularly in covering funeral costs, that the current funeral assistance for deceased civil servants in active duty is capped at 4,500 guilders, was established in 1995 and has not been adjusted to reflect the current increased costs in funeral services over this time, that the outdated amount does not sufficiently cover total expenses of funerals today in today's economy, leaving families without additional financial strain in their time of grief, that increasing this benefit presents a compassionate, supportive measure for the families of civil servants who have dedicated their careers to serving the people of St. Martin. Resolves to call on the responsible minister to revise the current funeral assistance benefit for active civil servants who have passed away while in service, increasing the amount to 9,000 Antillean guilders, to request that government update the VSR policy regarding burial contributions, currently set at 4,500 guilders based on financial feasibility, and to request that the government explore the possibility of introducing a burial insurance. Further resolves that this increased funeral assistance is not deducted from any further or other statutory benefits which the next of kin of deceased civil servants should receive, that this revised benefit amount be implemented promptly to more effectively support families in their time of need, and goes over to the order of the day. A copy of this will be sent to His Excellency Ajamu Bailey and also the Council of Ministers. This motion has been supported by MP Gumbs, MP Westcott Williams, MP La Cruz, MP Otley, MP York, MP De Wever, MP Irion, MP Brug, MP Myers, MP Kotay, MP Roosburg, and also MP Mercelina and MP Heiliger Martin. Madam Chair, I just want to also make it clear again to reiterate the fact that this motion has nothing to do with the recent situation that happened within government with my cousin passing away, but this has been something I've been speaking about for quite a while now, and I started the initial budget debate a couple of weeks ago presenting different points of concern, and I just think it's right for us to do for our civil servants, and also by extension with the additional point to look into that of the social assistance as well. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hereby present this motion.
Thank you, MP Duran. And the last speaker from the side of the members of parliament is MP Myers. MP Myers, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no further questions.
Thank you, MP Myers. Yes, there are some questions that have been posed by some members, not many, and I look at the Council of Ministers and I ask which minister have